Hi everyone. September is looking very good with the star number 4 in the center. The center determines the theme of the month, and star number 4 is the star of relationships, cooperation, peace. So I think we can actually expect a very pleasant month ahead, which will help the mood of the people and the mood of the market makers. That is according to the Feng Shui system, and then according to the Bazi system. We have a clash of elements here that we have both wood in wood on a monthly and on a yearly time frame, which on the positive side means a friend, and on the negative side it means a competition. So this will be also adding to the theme of the month. And then the rooster and the snake are friends. They're making a 120-degree angle between themselves. That means the relationship very harmonious and pleasant between the monthly time frame and the yearly time frame. So according to the Chinese system, we should be looking forward to a pleasant and enjoyable month, which inevitably will affect the subconscious minds of the market makers. Let's have a look now a bit deeper into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Solana stands out as heading for a bull month in September because Solana is a horse and a rat at the same time. As you know, we are always analyzing the day pillar and the yearly pillar when we are forecasting. So Solana is a horse on a day pillar and a rat on a yearly pillar, and both of these are going to be very bullish in September. So the rat is also Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a rat and Solana is a rat. So the difference here is that both of these stars are very auspicious. Star number 9 and star number 8 in the Solana sector, and star number 9 in the Bitcoin sector. So these two coins should actually be expecting a very bull month of September according to the Feng Shui. Ethereum is in this sector here in the southwest. Southwest is getting star number 1, which again is a bull star. Star number 1 means the winner. So I'm just giving you the meaning in Chinese astrology, and we are never 100% accurate with Chinese astrology. That takes a long time to kind of gauge the meaning of Chinese astrology and to map that onto a trading chart. I'm the only person in the world who is actually doing that. So I don't have anyone to learn from. I'm learning from myself and the regular backtesting that I'm doing. But this is what the Feng Shui is telling us. It's telling us that both Ethereum, Bitcoin and Solana stand out as performing exceptionally well. I haven't had time to check BNB how it will perform, but in the previous video I showed you, as soon as BNB reaches the 8-year birthday, we're expecting that BNB will be performing quite well. So this competition between Solana and BNB, I don't know how much we can trust it. Solana is looking good in September, and we will see. And another way we can reason about things is knowing that the Feng Shui is bullish for Solana. We watch what happens on the market, and if Solana doesn't perform on a bull month, that means that Solana is in big trouble. And that it properly then means that it is manipulated, exactly how it happened for Ethereum in the first half of the year. In April, Ethereum had fantastic bull month, and that Ethereum struggled to close on a green. It didn't manage to close on a green in April. So that immediately meant that Ethereum is not following its own natal chart, but it's getting manipulated. Another thing I want to comment about the month of September is that I'm regularly monitoring Trump, because we're trading Trump. Since Trump became the president, even the candidate for the election, since then we have been trading Trump whether we like it or not. And it is always useful to know what we can expect from Trump's corner. So Trump is a dog. The dog occupies the northwest sector of the sky, and the dog is heading for a very difficult month in September, unfortunately. And if something happens, if he dies in September, we can expect some kind of a dumping on the market in that respect. We need to check here the astro that the standard meaning of Ketu in Virgo is actually the death of a big head of state and or a king, and it's not happening, is it? Ketu has been in Virgo now since January, and nobody has died. Even Biden, who was so unwell, even he hasn't died. And that is like Biden is making proper fools out of us astrologers. Like, we were forecasting that Biden will die from the beginning as soon as Ketu enters Virgo, and now Ketu is halfway through Virgo and nobody has died. So the meaning of these planets, when they're crossing Ketu, it's a death there. It's in the Vedic people, they don't do anything when they have these natal planets approaching their Ketu. They say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll wait until the conjunction is done, and I'll wait until the planet has moved on, and only then. And I can say about the Bitcoin market and all of the markets is that until we see all of these three planets making that bloody conjunction and moving on, we're not going to see a sustainable rally. So the flying stars are very positive for September, which could be interpreted either as a bull month or a month with a good support, right? That's what the flying stars are saying, because the general mood will be good in September. There will be no kind of manipulative mood according to the Feng Shui. Star number 4 is a really fantastic star. It means fostering relationships, peace between people, building relationships, personal relationships, and good vibes. So add that to the Western astrology, that these will be making conjunctions with Ketu, and they're all bearish. You know, that the conjunction with Ketu is always bearish. But then on the positive side is that after the conjunction we get higher. So that's where we are in September. Not looking for some kind of a rally, to be clear, in September, and not looking for a sustainable rally, but September will definitely be the month of the bottom of the second half of the year, whatever that bottom is. Or to be more precise, the bottom of quarter 3 before the rally. Let me just rephrase it. The last bottom before the rally will be done in September. So this will be the month for us to watch now how low the support will be and how exactly that bottom will be done. And now we're going to narrow down the details. So on the 5th of September we have Mars squaring Jupiter, and we have 76% probability that the trend before will be down. All of these are very local assessments. They're on a daily time frame. All of these assessments are daily time frames. Therefore, all we can expect here is that the daily candle on the day before will be red. And it gives a 76% probability for that. In terms of the trend after, it's only 50-50, so we cannot make any conclusions. It has been a bottom before, but the majority of the candles are green, 53%, still very small percent to make a conclusion about the daily time frame, but because this percentage is quite strong, I'm starting from here that I'm expecting a local top, basically what I'm saying. What we're observing on the market now, Bitcoin pumping today and heading up. What the backtesting of that aspect is telling us that by the 5th of September we are expected to be on a downtrend, meaning that the top will be either the 3rd of September or the 4th of September. Local, very local top. Okay, and now we're gonna check some other confluences. We have Mercury squaring Uranus tomorrow, and look what this is showing here, that by the time this aspect takes place we will be on an uptrend with 63% historical probability, and then we will continue the uptrend with 56, so that will be 20 out of 35. With 57% historical probability, we will have at least one more day up. That's what is showing us. It's slightly low percentage, so either the 3rd of September is looking as a top or the 4th of September is looking as a top, and then we don't know actually how the day will close, how the 5th of September will close. But what we do know is that already there will be a very local downtrend by the time this aspect takes place, with a 76% probability for that. And now it starts getting quite confusing when we're zooming out on the bigger time frame. So now we're moving to weekly. 60% probability that week number 1 of Mercury in Virgo will be closing on a red. Mercury is entering Virgo today, the 2nd of September. And all the astrologers are saying, oh, Mercury in Virgo is bullish. Well, this is not what the backtesting is saying. Look how many bottoms have taken place while Mercury has been in Virgo. Clearly, Mercury is not happy in Virgo, and I think all of these rulerships that we are ascribing to various planets in various signs, the backtesting is clearly showing us that Mercury is not happy in Virgo. First week, 60% probability of closing on red. Second week, 60% probability of closing on red, and several historical bottoms have taken place in that week. So 2 plus 7 is 9th of September, right? And 9 plus 7 is 16th of September. And then 16 plus 7 is 23rd of September. 67% probability of closing on green by 23rd of September in relation to the 16th of September. So we need to keep this weekly forecast in mind, and then we need to confluence it with what the other cycles are saying on the weekly time frames. So on the weekly time frames, we have Mars in zodiac signs, which is in Virgo as well right now. Oh, sorry, did Mars move into Libra? Yeah, Mars is in Libra. So 3rd of September, 75% probability that it will be closing on green in relation to 27th of August, which is perfectly doable. So this is 27th of August, and we have very high probability that 3rd of September will be closing on a green. And this is fantastic, a very good confluence to the previous statement that I made, that we're expecting a local top shaping in the next couple of days. So this is 27th of September, of August, and 111, 112,000 are coming next, according to now two cycles, two completely independent cycles are extracting that datum. And then Mars in Libra is actually saying that even the 10th of September, it has a very high probability of closing on green. Even the 10th. So this is very tricky. That second week of September is very difficult to nail down because these cycles are contradicting each other. So Mars in Libra is saying the second week will be green, and then Mercury And then Mercury in Virgo is telling us that the second week will be a bottom. Here it is. So for now, I'm gonna abstain from making a forecast for week number 2 of September because of these conflicting cycles. If I discover something, I will add it in the next update. If I don't discover, then all I can do is present to you that we have two different conflicting cycles, and I'm not going to be able to make a conclusion about week number 2. And then Venus gets involved. Venus is saying that we have 57% probability that 8th of September will be higher than 1st of September. So 1st of September is here, 8th of September. So that is possible because 8th of September, right? That will be higher than the 1st of September. Yeah, that is perfectly possible, and that doesn't exclude all of these local moves that we were discussing earlier, because look what this fractal is showing us. It's showing us a top on the 3rd, and then that will fulfill the condition there of the previous 2 cycles that I quoted, and then the 5th will get its downtrend before the event, and then it can head up again. So there is volatility in the coming week to expect, which makes sense psychologically, because psychologically the market makers, how they can possibly screw us here? Like, they certainly don't want to make that long wick that we want to shape a very clear bottom. They don't want to do that because they know that despite the fact that retail are quite uneducated, they know that retail will know that then we're on an uptrend, and they don't want retail to know that. So they're not going to give us that long wick. So what's the next thing that they can do for us? They can do a consolidation, but they know that despite the fact that retail is quite dumb, retail does know that consolidation is bullish, and eventually it will lead to the upside. So again, they're not going to give us that. They're not going to give us a long consolidation here. So we're heading for volatility in the days ahead, and that's fine. And then what we can expect from the market makers is that they really want to make a lower high to freak out everybody. That's why they're going to do that top on the 3rd or the 4th. they really, I can just read their minds that they want to do that, because that's the best way to screw us now. They've done a double top, and the next thing do a lower top, and then that is proper bearish. So that's what they're heading for now. And coming back here, let's see the confluences that we have. So Venus is saying the 8th will be higher. Perfectly reasonable, because once we have that square on the 5th, it is very possible that we're gonna head higher for a few days. Very, very possible. After square, we do get those kind of reactions to the upside. And then I already covered Mars in zodiac sign, didn't I? I said yeah, that the 10th of September is expecting to be closing higher. So yes, it looks like, according to Mars and Venus, we're actually heading for a top around 10th, and Venus is what? Oh, Venus, the end is 8th of September, and after that Venus becomes bearish, and then after that Venus actually agrees with Mercury that 15th of September. And Mercury, let me just put these together because they should be together. Mercury in zodiac sign and Venus in zodiac sign. So look at them, both of them, they're saying that week 2 of September, so closing on the 16th of September, 60% probability of closing on red, and the Venus cycle is saying 79% probability of closing on red. Quite high, and both of them are in agreement. So in this video, I'm just gonna make a local forecast for the next couple of days, and then I will come back. This is what we've got right now, but also we have bullish events taking place in around that time, so I need to double check a few things. Okay, so the forecast for today is that for the next, we're expecting a top on the 3rd or the 4th, we're expecting a top, even on the 5th we may get a top. We have a gun date here on the 5th that is shaping as a top. These are cycle dates, by the way. We should never confuse them as something being set in stone. Just because if it is a cycle date, that all it means is that it is increasing the possibility of that becoming a real top or a real bottom. But they actually don't guarantee that it will happen on the same day. And then we have an interesting cycle gun cycle date, the 4th of September, which could be either a bottom or a top. It's difficult to decide. This, I was very confident that the 1st of September will be a bottom, a cycle bottom, because if I show you the gun cycles here, the 1st of September is derived from a very long generation and long ancestry of bottoms, historical bottoms. Look at that. 7th of April, yearly bottom, is in the same cycle, exactly in the same cycle as 5th of August 2024, which was another deep bottom. Unfortunately, the 1st of September didn't play out like that. It didn't play out on the TA. So that is why we have to always keep them separate. What the cycle is saying, that is not set in stone. It's just telling us that this cycle is bottoming on the 1st of September. But it doesn't have to be exactly to the date, and it may not even materialize. You can see some dates here have not materialized. Actually, 30th of December did materialize as a bottom. But those two dates didn't materialize. Not every date materializes, and that is why I avoid discussing matters with people on Twitter, because they're refusing to think that cycles, astro and TA, all of them go together. They cannot live without each other. This should have been a bottom, the 1st of September, and it will be a local bottom, because at the end of the day that's a gun cycle bottom. But very soon, in my opinion, we will be revisiting it here. This level here, 108, is the point of control. I will not be surprised if the solar eclipse meets us on this day, on this level here, if the solar eclipse enters on this price. And that will be fantastic, because in my research, when the solar eclipse enters on the point of control, it always pumps after that, and that becomes then a proper bottom. We don't want to be very high when the solar eclipse enters the Bitcoin market, because that's when it will mean dumping. But these are just initial sketches. I will go into detail of those weeks of September later on. At the moment, let's just figure out 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. And then the next gun date that we have is 4th of October, and sorry, not 4th of October, 4th of September, it's here. And I cannot tell you where this looks like a top, because this date is derived from a top. You can see here, 14th of March 2024, that was a very big ATH, and I have derived several tops. For example, the January top in 2025 is a derivative of that date. The 7th of June is a derivative of that date, and look what this is saying. This is saying 5th of September top, and this is highlighting the 4th of September. These are two different cycles. One of them is 45 days and the other one is 49 days, projected from the same date, 14th of March. Right, so any other cycles that we can check? Yes, there are two more cycles that I can check. eclipse bottom cycle is in. Eclipse cycle bottom is in. That was supposed to be on 27th of August. So it's good to know that such a big important bottom is in. And then the Chinese cycles, we have another according to the Chinese cycles, we're heading for a top. Here is your confluence number 3. There was a local top on the 6th of January, which produced bumps, if you remember, on the 6th of January. Here it is. Ah, yes, here it is. So this is what happens when we don't make a proper bottom. It will go up for a few days and then it will come back to revisit the lows. I'm so sorry, my throat suddenly became very dry. So this is the equivalent of tomorrow, the 3rd of September is the equivalent to 6th of January 2025 according to the Chinese cycles. And then we're expecting to the downside for a few days and then heading up again. Coming back here. Okay guys, so I'm gonna wrap up this video because my throat is exceptionally dry and irritated. And I will make another forecast tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So we're expecting a local top tomorrow, the 3rd or the 4th. Okay, bye for now.